Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. And there you are. Good morning, Senator. Good to have you. We're just talking to your friend Governor Christie here about what this means going forward. How do you see it?
You know, I think it's all good news. I think last night in Kentucky we had a huge victory, and particularly in Kentucky, Iowa, Arkansas. This was not only a repudiation of the president, but I think really a repudiation of Hillary Clinton. Everybody thought, oh, hey, I'm going to be a Clinton Democrat. But turns out that's not so popular in a lot of states either. And trying to separate this into Obama Democrats and Clinton Democrats really wasn't a very successful strategy for the Democrats yesterday.
Senator, you worried about Hillary Clinton, that you bring her up on a day where usually you'd be ignoring the other side? You a little worried about Hillary?
Not necessarily worried. I just think that she has a record and she wants to either separate herself or say that she's somehow different than Obama. Really, it turns out that on most policies, they're pretty much identical.
But why now? Why do it? Is this your way of setting yourself up for 2016? There was a lot of talk about that last night. You could have talked about anything you wanted. You had it in your home state playing out in Kentucky. You were there with Mitch McConnell. Not so much about what the new Senate majority will do. Not so much about the Republican agenda. You went right after her. You created a hashtag. Seems pretty obvious what your motivation is. Am I missing something?
Well, you know, the Clintons have long been represented as leaders of the Democrat Party. She's said to be the front runner for the nomination for their party. So really, elections are about who the leadership is in a party, and it's about either accepting or rejecting those leaders. And frankly, I think that yesterday was a repudiation of Hillary Clinton. Think about it. 90% of incumbents win, but over 50% of the candidates that she campaigned for that were incumbents lost. So that is a message that the public sent both to the Clintons, to President Obama, and to their policies.
Right. The president should probably be at the top of that list, though, right, if you're going to go after the head of the Democratic Party. But you're kind of ignoring him in favor of Hillary Clinton. My suggestion would be you're doing that because you see yourself lining up in a race against him.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that there's enough blame to go around for the president. I think he's going to have to decide, and I think that decision will happen over the next couple of months. Is he going to work with us? Because, frankly, he's been saying it's his way or the highway, and that's what it's been. There's nothing that has occurred in the last several years because both he and Harry Reid decided, hey, we're going to do nothing. And so I think some of the message also was a message that the American public is tired of gridlock. They're ready to see something happen, and I want to be part of that.
You know, Senator, in an election where the Democrats, I think it's fair to say, ran away from their base, ran away from their president, ran scared through most of the elections and paid the price. Hillary Clinton, you could argue, didn't. She did what a leader should do. She went out there, she stuck by what she's about, what she believes her party's about. She fought the good fight, and she lost. Do you think that the races that she weighed in on would have gone a different way if she weren't there?
I don't think she was an asset. I think that the Clintons for a long time have been perceived as, oh, hey, they can help Democrats convince people in the South that there still are some conservative Democrats. But guess what? It doesn't work anymore. Even in their home state in Arkansas, it didn't work last night. They campaigned heavily in Iowa. It didn't work in Iowa. They campaigned heavily in Kentucky. There's supposed to be this Clinton cachet. Well, I think the shininess is worn off of that.
All right, so let's talk about who is shiny. I'm saying you're shiny, Senator. Are you going to run for president?
Maybe. You know, I haven't decided yet. We're going to decide sometime in the spring.
Let me ask you something. I understand. I've heard your answer before, Senator. Here's why I'm cutting you off. All due respect, and I'm very happy to have you on the show.
Well, you ask the same question. You ask the same question, you get the same answer. I'm not going to give you a different answer.
I know, and that's what
else.
I don't get. We just asked Governor Christie the same thing. It is the most powerful position in the world. For people like you who say you want to serve through elected office, that's the place that is the shiny jewel that gives you the power to do it. Why this indecision? Why run around the country and make all these cases and exhaust yourself on so many levels and then vacillate on going for the crown? Why vacillate?
Well, it is an important decision. It's an important position, and it will take a while to make the decision. As you know, in politics isn't always the friendliest of atmospheres for family. There's a lot that families go through. There's attacks and personal, and it's just a big decision to make. But there's also the decision to make, and this depends on the facts on the ground, and that is, are the things that you're talking about, the things you want to do to make the country bigger, better, are they resonating? And is there a chance that they will be successful? I don't have a great desire to do it just on a lark. I would only do it if I thought that we had a real chance at the nomination and at winning. So we'll make that decision sometime in the spring. I think I've been more forthright than many. I haven't demurred. I haven't said, oh, not me. I'm not thinking of it. We've actively said we are thinking about it. We are making preparations should it occur, but we haven't made a final decision. We'll make that in the spring.
Well, look, I mean, you grew up in it. You know, you've put your family in it. As someone who grew up in politics, you know what it takes to be in this kind of situation. And you certainly are in the crosshairs of everybody who's talking about 2016 positive and negative. If not you, and if you're not going to do it, most would suggest that means you think there's someone better for the job. You think Chris Christie would be a better president than you?
You know, I think there are a lot of good candidates, and I think we need moderates in the party. I think it's great that there's a big tent and that there will be moderates and people from different regions of the country in our party. You know, I'm not ready really to declare to endorse another Republican, but I think having people from different facets of the ideological spectrum of the party is useful and good for the party.
When are we going to hear you come on New Day and say, I'm in, I have a tie on today, I'm ready to run?
Do I have to wear a tie to run? That's my real question.
No, you look good in that. I like the mock neck.
You know, we'll make a decision in the spring, but it's probably not going to be early next year. It'll be in the spring sometime. And truly, we haven't made the decision and had all the final discussions we have to have and to decide whether we want to do this or not.
Well, Senator, you got a lot of big decisions to make. You've just been given a very significant mantle of power by the American people. We look forward to seeing how you use it. Thank you very much for joining us on New Day.
Thank you.
Allison.
Thanks so much, Chris.